Kiss. A 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like engraved in my brain. Wow, guys. Well, hello.
Chicago.
No, literally, warm welcome. Chicago lives on.
Chicago.
Hello. Welcome to the Odyssey Unscripted podcast. My name is Ian. I'm going to be your lovely co-host today. And with me are my other two very lovely co-hosts,
Natalie and Athena.
and we are very, very excited to be back once more, just the three of us. It's been a minute. We've been doing a lot of filming with guests, and we've been rotating in and out. I haven't rotated out yet, which we're about to do.
Soon. You will
I'm
next
actually
time.
really excited about it. I'm excited to be an audience member for a second. I think being on is kind of really tiring, right?
I was really stressed last week when I did it. I mean, we know what happened. Knocking out the lights, turning the camera on and off was too much for me. I was not made to be behind the scenes. And it's either on camera or not in the room.
That's beautiful.
That was good.
I love that. So yeah, we just kind of wanted to get together, and my idea was to call this our February recap, just to kind of go over all how that has ensued the past month. And it's been a busy month for us. We've been doing a lot. We've been trying to get rehearsals to a place where we're gearing up to finish the shows and get ready to go on tour. We're doing costumes and everything right now, and all in the midst of that, we're also living our personal lives. We're teaching, we're working and doing stuff for the pod and everything like that. So it's been wild. I figured we could chat. We could chill.
Check in with each other.
Right.
It's not like we live together.
No, it's not like we never see each other. Low-key though, sometimes I feel like I don't see you guys because we're all just always so
You're
busy
always
doing
teaching.
stuff. Yeah, tell me about it, girl. But it's okay because I love my children, and the episode we filmed with Allie was so fun. It was so good. I loved it. I didn't realize how much I loved being a dance teacher until recently. Yeah. And I think that's really important to know, because then it can transcend into all of the different avenues of life that I walk down. You know what I mean? When I'm a parent, or if I want to be a full-time teacher when I'm done dancing, or whatever. You know what I mean? I think it's really important to find that area of expertise that I enjoy doing. Yeah. So I don't know, I've really been loving it recently, and it's also that time of the year where the children are really excited to go to competition, and they've been used to their teachers and their routines and everything like that, and they're just they're hungry, they're ready to get out there and do. However, I will say leading a ballet class at 7 p.m.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Oh my gosh.
Because I never know what I'm doing when I'm taking the class. So let's start there.
I mean, well, but other than that, I mean, I do a lot of teaching, but that's kind of about it. I haven't really done a whole lot else. I don't really have a whole lot else going on right now. But let's go. You know what? How are you, Natalie? How's it going?
I am great. I feel like it's been Odyssey has been so draining lately in a good way,
right?
Of we're working really hard, and my body is tired, but it's for a reason, and we're getting ready for tour, so it's been good. I've just been really chilled out lately, and I think that's okay. I've been subbing a few times. I'm choreographing a solo right now, which is so fun. My first time choreographing a solo, so I'm okay, awesome. Yeah.
Are you gonna go to competition with her?
Hopefully. I want to go see her, perform it. And I think it'll be so fun.
Yeah.
But and then I just hang out with my cat Mooney.
It's beautiful. We were talking about this the other day, but I have taught every single night this week, Monday through Thursday. I taught this week, and every single night I walk in the door around the same time, and Nat is in the exact same spot on the couch watching Shameless with Moon, and I open the door and I go, "Hey," and she goes, hi. And it's like, I brought it up to her, I think on Wednesday night, where I was like, it has been the same like the past like 3 nights. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Like, we all have to find our ways to relax and calm ourselves. Like, our like early on in the day is just so crazy with like the way that, not that obviously like rehearsals are crazy and out of control and whatever, but we like do so much throughout the day. And it can be so easy to get so one-track minded while we're in rehearsal that like you kind of, you know, you lose a bit of you as a person. You know, you become dancer for a really long time. But obviously this is all to say that it is great to do so regardless. But anyways, how are you, Athena? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a lot. I mean, you guys are aware like what we do. And it's also just like the trying to find like an emotional like middle ground between the two shows, Romeo and Juliet in Chicago, because they could not be more drastically different.
No, like truly.
Like,
it's really
when we ran, I literally like I went home and I like kept crying after we ran like the first or the second act of Romeo and Juliet the other day, and like because we just ran on Wednesday, was it, or Tuesday?
Oh, I don't know.
Sometime this week, we like finally did the entire second act of Romeo and Juliet, which is like the most intense and emotionally like draining thing ever. Everyone in the room was like sobbing, crying their eyes out after Peter did like the death paw with Darby, and he's like dragging her dead body around and is like literally screaming. I was like up at the mirror like.
No, me and Athena were sitting like front
oh my god
together, and I just look over and she's like bawling, and I'm like, okay, so I'm not alone because I'm bawling my eyes out. It's just it's really deep.
It's a lot.
Really,
and then and like mind you, like 2 minutes later, Carson was like literally like grabbing Darby's hair and like throwing her around like, you're supposed to be with me.
Yeah,
like, it's so it's so
intense. So up and down,
and then going from that, and then the next day being like 5, 6, 7, 8,
and I'm chasing those around the stage like a cop costume. Like
it's so much to go from like hating like each other and be like dark, deep, emotional, sad to being like and all that jazz. Like it's crazy. Wow. It's literally
and
insane.
Also like to take that and leave it in the studio and like not bring that with you outside of work has been like, I will say, we were talking about this when we did that run through. I had like just gone home from the gym and I was like feeling really good because I was able to just like get it all out and like put my mind to something else. But I got home and I was talking to Nat about it and I was like, it's just like you need something to take your mind off of it, or else you can just like sit in it all day long. It's just like, and obviously like the show is phenomenal. Like get your tickets now, divas. OdysseyDance.com ?
Yes.
Clock. But anyway, I mean, like the way that I just pulled that out, like that was yours. So.
That's great.
Anyways, the show is so good, and it's like so much fun for us to do it, and it's so. I would say that it's extremely fulfilling to do because it brings a sense of emotion and vulnerability to dance in the way that you wouldn't really expect it to because of how acting heavy it is. That. It just feels good to do it. It feels good to get lost in the story and become your character and like do all of this other stuff. But there is also, I mean, we hear about it all the time with like, you know, the Austin Butler and Elvis.
Right.
And you know what I mean?
And he still like, has that accent. Like, he has not dropped
Mama.
it.
Mama.
No, like literally.
Whoa, mama.
Hey, mama, whoa.
Okay. Let's get back on track.
We're off topic.
This whole episode is going to be off topic. Like,
like I think doing these two shows like has honestly like really just like reminded me how much I love dance and like the art of it, because it's really 100%. Easy to get wrapped up in like the sport and like the competitiveness of like being a dancer, because naturally like the dance industry, it's all competitive. You're constantly fighting for your spot and you're like looking at everyone else in the room like blah blah blah. But like this has like really taught me to like put it all away and just enjoy it, and like the storytelling and like all the emotional things that it can bring, you know, like crying and then me like turning into a different person when I put my wig on today. Like,
Yes.
it's really nice, and it's really fun to like explore the art of it.
Yeah,
you know?
no, absolutely.
And these two shows really let us do that. With like Chicago's more like cut and dry. It's like, this is your character, but Romeo and Juliet, we're like, we get it's a free for all.
Yeah,
you know, they're
truly.
like go wild, and it's so fun.
There are a lot of dances where it's like blocking heavy, where like we don't have specific spots or formations or like choreography or a lot of things that like give us a foundation or a structure for us to do it. Like I'm in particular thinking of Mercutio solo right now.
Right.
Like we like literally do nothing. I'm like back there like mixing up drinks. I'm like fully in drag, and then you know we're dancing and we're doing all this crazy like it allows you so much freedom to play, which I feel like for me personally, I feel like has been kind of scary almost, because the limitless possibilities is what feels a little crippling, where I'm like, I feel like there's so many ways that I could be a character. There are so many avenues that I can take to portray something specific that I either don't want to make the wrong choice. Sorry. I don't want to make the wrong choice, or I don't want to make a choice and then hate it and then have like a bad outcome from, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that has definitely been something that I've been toying around with a lot recently, but I've been hearing Veronica's voice in my head telling me like, there are no bad decisions. Just try it out, see how you feel. If you don't like it, move on, try something new. Like she has been a fantastic acting coach for us. Like even since like the beginning of Thriller, when we got here like 2 years ago. It's like she has been on us about portraying a character and getting so enveloped in it that it like allows you to completely lose yourself. It's just it's so inspiring to have it come from her nonetheless,
right?
And then be able to just dive completely into who you are and all of the aspects of what we do, no matter if it's like Thriller, Christmas, a spring show, a repertoire show. Like it's just all of the opportunities we've been given to like to explore what it means to not be yourself in a dance setting. Because I feel like that is also something that's so prominent in this industry, is who you are, what you have to offer, what makes you and different from everyone else. The main reason why I'm bringing this up is because there are no small parts, and I think that has been a huge lesson in how this year in general has gone, because last year we just did a rep show and then we did Moulin Rouge, and Moulin Rouge was pretty like fair unless you were Satine, you know, like that was like that, it was kind of a given because basically the whole show is about her. That's kind of the point. But now there are more roles that kind of come into play within the company, but that doesn't mean that you have any less spotlight than anyone else. Like we're all on stage a pretty decent amount all together a lot of the time. And it's like, you know, so finding it's difficult to come up with like your own narrative, your storyline, your character name and everything like that. But when you finally are able to put that into perspective for yourself, it changes everything. I feel like especially in like the Tybalt quartet that we do in Romeo and Juliet, like I am Francisco. I transform. Absolutely, I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I want to talk about how V like tells us to write down our backstory. And I've been doing that because in Romeo and Juliet, I am Rosalind, and it's awesome. How V has talked about like writing down our backstory, and I was talking to her about how me being Rosalind and breaking up with Romeo on stage. I'm like, is there something specific I need to say? Like what exactly is she gonna say in this moment? She's like, well, that's your take on it. You don't have to do the actual like scripted version of the Romeo and Juliet. Like you don't have to do that. You can make it your own. So I made it my own, and I just really liked how she was just like, what have like past relationships made you so upset that you would say this stuff to him to his face? And I'm like, okay, yeah. So I thought about it, I wrote it down, and I came up with like a really good like storyline of like why I'm so upset with him, why I break up with him right then and there. And then then I realized that portrays into his next solo. So I want to make sure what I say makes sense into why he's so upset in his solo. And like I talked to him about it, and he's like, well, V, like I had this similar discussion with V of like just like focus on the corner where she was sitting. And like if you watch his solo, he's always looking to that back left corner where I was sitting. And so I kind of like took that into mind of like exactly what I'm going to say to him on stage. And obviously it's like 2 seconds, but I want like for myself and for the audience to know like what the backstory is in those 2 seconds. So I really like how V gives us those prompts and gives us those ideas and freedom of it all.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. It's really interesting to put that into perspective because like you have this role as Rosalind like for like maybe a minute.
Yeah.
But like it still sets everything up in a domino effect way that continues all throughout until like the very end of the show 2.5 hours later. You know what I mean? Like it's so incredible how something so small can amount to so much more than you'd think it would. You know what I mean? Like, and if I'm being completely honest, like I'm usually like changing or I'm like breathing as this is happening. I'm like trying to like collect myself. But like hearing you talk about it, it's like, no, like this is big. Like this is a very important part of the way that things go.
And again, there's no small parts, but then like, cause I'm not again, like recognized as Rosalind throughout the rest of the show, which is like understandable because it doesn't really portray anything else. But I thought about it. I was like, oh wait, this tiny little part kind of does affect Romeo's tumble and like why he goes with Juliet and da-da-da. And so, yeah, I thought about that. I said, oh, you're right. There is no small part. Like, everyone is important.
Right.
And I was like, oh,
when is Veronica not right?
It just
Like,
reminded me of like when I was like on the phone with my mom the other day, and I was like talking about Romeo and Juliet and just like yada yada whatever, and then I was like,
what?
I was talking about how Romeo and Juliet, like how they separately go about like taking their own lives. And I was telling my mom how Romeo like does drugs, and I was like, and actually, you know, I am the drug dealer that gives him the drugs, so actually I play a very important role in the show. Because if it was not for me having the drugs on me,
the show wouldn't end.
This show wouldn't end, even though he did have a gun.
Yeah, this is true.
There's another avenue for him to take, but in our show,
this is how it goes.
He goes with drugs. So like if I wasn't there, so again, no small part.
No small part.
Like, and you know, I would argue that I am the main character.
No, literally.
I mean, obviously, of course. I mean, the show would be nothing without you.
No,
truly,
nothing without
truly.
me and Riley with that 80s rocker wig on. Like,
and can we talk about the wig for a second?
because, and this is the thing, is Daryl is very, very, very specific about me and Riley's like separate props that we have, because I come out as the drug dealer and she comes out as my little like hooker friend. We like walk out together, and he gave her this like really like fierce, it's like a little like Wayne's World-esque like blonde 80s mullet.
It's huge.
Daryl gives me my pack of drugs every time. I don't know where he keeps it. I think, I think it stays in his, the drugs are in his office. The drugs stay in Daryl's office, and he brings them to me, and I never know where they go. And after every single run, I go up to him with my thing of drugs, and he goes, thank you. And so that's just where they are. And then he got this wig for Riley, and so now he walks up to Riley and gives her wig before every single run, because literally the earth will melt if I don't have my drugs and Riley doesn't have her wig.
It's true. It's imperative. Truly. Exactly. Truly. And
because again, no small parts.
I want to talk about earlier today, because we're on the topic of the wig and V, and I was telling them about this earlier, but so I had a blood blister that popped open today while we were doing costumes and rehearsal, and it was really unfortunate, but I'm okay. I promise I've been really brave about it. Like I'm going to be okay. But I was in the bathroom and I was like cleaning it out. I was putting some Neosporin and Band-Aids on it, whatever. And then I was walking to the bathroom to do all of this, and as I'm walking down the hallway, like where all of the costumes are, Veronica walks out of the bathroom with the wig on, and she stops dead in her tracks, and she's like, and then keeps walking like I just spotted Sasquatch. Like it was actually so, I was dying laughing about it for like 10 minutes after it happened. Like it was so I just like that's you know what, and if you're ever wondering what it's like to be in a rehearsal with Odyssey Dance Theater, like that's what it's like.
that, yeah.
Like she was also in a Belle costume earlier today,
Yep.
and she had the hook that The Rock has Moana. What's
Yes.
his name?
Um,
Maui.
yeah.
Maui. He has like the hook that he had, and she also had a ukulele she was playing at the same time with 3 strings out of tune. It was really like not to her fault, of course. That was just what she was dealt with. But so while we're on the topic of our shows that we're doing in the spring, I figured that it would be a good opportunity for us to kind of dive a bit deeper into what these shows are and like who we are and how everything kind of comes into play for our season and everything like that. So last year, like we kind of mentioned before, we only did one show and it was Moulin Rouge, and it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was
like,
only for like second act.
yeah. And the first half of the spring show that we did, Shut Up and Dance, is we did like rep that we had like Jeffrey Boom. What is his actual name? Jeffrey Louisia, and we had
Jeffrey Boom.
Jeffrey Boom, of course, the boom. And we
Shout out the boom.
Shout out the boom, who also has a podcast.
Yeah, he does.
We're trying so hard to collab. Jeffrey, if you see this, good morning. Right.
Text me
Text me back, please. I miss you, dog. I do.
Never once
I
thought
miss
about
you, dog.
miss you dog coming out of Ian's
mouth. Miss you, dog.
Miss you,
Miss you,
dog.
dog.
And it is DAWG.
Oh, of course.
Like,
Oh no, of course. But we also had Christian Denise, which it was wonderful to work with him. He was everything.
So gorgeous.
And then we had a wonderful piece by Daryl, 20 minutes long, multiple parts. Yes. It was crazy.
And I did ascend at the end of it.
Yes. She flew.
I did ascend.
She flew. Mm-hmm. So that was like what we did last year. And now this year, things are a little bit different in comparison. We are doing 2 different shows that we're going to alternate each night of. So like our opening night will be Romeo and Juliet, I believe. And then the next night will be Chicago, and then it'll be Romeo and Juliet, and then Chicago. And we'll just keep circling through them like that until the end of our run at the Salt Lake Theater. But we've been working on these 2 shows at the same time for the most part. We started working on Romeo and Juliet the first half back in September when we had first started, because we were going to perform in Los Angeles. There was like a gala that we did, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. The theater was super, super cute. It was almost giving like how the set in my mind for like Speakeasy, Charleston Tap, like you know what I mean. Like I've been thinking a lot about that.
like tables in the front.
Yes, very casual. There's like a bar in the back.
Yeah.
and, like except it's prohibition, so there wasn't a bar.
So there was no bar.
There was no bar. But then we get
in
because
the
it's
Speakeasy.
Speakeasy.
Yeah. Lore accurate. Thank you.
Let's know.
But anyways, so we started working on that in September, and now we were wrapping up the rest of it, Act 2 right now. And I don't want to be the only one to talk. I feel like I've been talking for a while. So why don't we move to one of you to talk about Romeo and Juliet? Why don't one of you do Romeo and Juliet and one of you do Chicago?
I really want to do Chicago.
Okay, I'll do
Perfect.
Romeo and Juliet.
Rosalind on the mic.
I know. Hey, it's Rosalind. Hey. So Romeo and Juliet, we obviously take the actual storyline but make it modernized in this day and age, I guess. And one side is Caputan, which is Juliet's side, and then one side is Monte-Cristo, which is Romeo's side. And it's fun because Caputan is very ballroom based, obviously, and then Monte-Cristo is hip hop. So I kind of like it's like dance battling the whole time. Per 4 vibe, which I think is so fun. But yeah, I think it's really cool how we take 2 of the most opposite styles and put it into one show and see how they differ and go back and forth and everything like that. But it's, again, going back to like the freedom of it all. I love how much freedom we do have to express ourselves and to be a different character and go into that mindset of like dress up and play. This is our play.
Imagination.
Like, imagination. And I love how we can call work playtime.
Right.
And it's just like fun. And I love it. And so, yeah, it's really cool. And yeah, it gets, like we said, it gets really deep. And
it's very heavy.
It gets really heavy, but in such a good, inspiring way.
Yeah.
I feel. And of just like coming together, like all at the end, like when Romeo and Juliet die, all of us Capitans and all of us Monty crew come together and we're all like mourning because they were both our friends at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really cool how we get to put that like in the real world and how modernized we do it so people can actually like truly relate to the story and how true love is and dying for each other.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the like biggest moments that stick out to me, and I don't know if this is like, I don't know if we're like really allowed to talk about this because it's like low key giving the ending, but it's not that important. But
it's Romeo and Juliet,
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone knows.
but there's a specific moment where I have it with Mose. It's very, very beautiful. Mose is Monty crew and I'm a Capitan, and we come together over Romeo's body, and we like have a moment. We like look at each other, and I like nod to him, and then he reaches down and takes the aforementioned gun and moves it to the side. And Daryl was explaining to us that that's supposed to be some kind of like acknowledgement of violence is never the answer. Like that's not going to really solve anything at the end of the day. It's just going to cause more harm than it will good. Which I think like being able to tie it to that kind of generalized storyline like you were talking about and making it so relatable for our audience is something that's really important, especially in this day and age. It's so easy for our world to get so wrapped up in everything all the time that to have dance as that avenue to be able to recognize the importance of, you know, happiness, love, and friendship and kindness and whatever, which like is what a lot of the beginning kind of is. It's like, oh, like whatever, we're our two sides and blah, Monty crew,
like fun banter going back and forth,
right?
And it's like not that serious, but then when someone pulls out a weapon, we're like, oh,
right,
okay, like we were in the like, we're friends. It's okay.
Because the intention is never to harm.
Yeah.
It's just, unfortunately, in this show in particular, it got taken a bit too far.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as you know, in the storyline of Romeo and Juliet, that's kind of how it goes. But I agree with you. It's definitely very important for our audience to see the kind of message that we're portraying because we have taken some creative liberties outside of the actual Romeo and Juliet story, but it still ties it together in a way that makes it very universal, which I think is it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. That's like the difference between the two shows in my mind is like Romeo and Juliet, it speaks to a lot more than what it may present on the surface right away. Like you can really like dig deep into it to find a bunch of different meanings and many different ways that you can interpret how the show goes. But then Chicago is very like, ooh, fun, and we're just having a great time, and we're like flashing back to this time period and like all of this other. It's supposed to be very immersive, which I think is kind of also important. You know, it's a way for our audience to like get lost in the story we're telling and the show we're doing and everything like that. So moving into Chicago.
Okay, Chicago is different from the Chicago you know. We do Chicago nights. Okay, so we are incorporating the one and only Al Capone. We want
behind
Scarface.
the camera right now.
Give us Scarface.
Yes! Give us Scarface.
He's doing
Back
sound
from the dead.
He's busy. Sorry.
Okay, anyways, so we've got Al Capone in there, and we're also telling the story of like Prohibition because that was going on at the same time. And was Matilda Karst a real person?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. So, like, the story of Chicago itself, it's like the story of Roxy Hart and yada, 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 all these things. But, like, Al Capone and his run of the mob and everything, and then also Prohibition were happening all at the same time. They all, like, they never interacted, but they were all happening in real life. So, what our lovely director, Daryl Yeager, did was he combined all of them, and it creates this really, really, really fun show that we call Chicago Nights, right? So, we've got Roxy Hart, you know, they do all that jazz, Velma, they do their little opening number, and then we call ourselves the No-No Girls.
That's me in a theme.
We have, led by Matilda Karst herself, we come out with our little prohibition signs and we say no alcohol, your mother or saloon.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, you
What's
do.
the other sign? It says
My
like...
sign's really cute. What does it say?
Oh.
It says... I should probably know. But it says something like, no liquor on these lips.
Yes, it
or
says
something like that.
lips that touch alcohol will not touch ours.
Yes.
Like, it's really great.
Well, not
mine
just
says,
these.
mine says women unite because, like, obvious.
Right.
So the No-No Girls, we dance, and then we're introduced to the lovely Al Capone. He sings a little song, which, fun fact, Daryl Yeager has 2 recorded songs in our show. Okay, so
Let us know if you can
you're
pick
gonna want
them out.
Right.
Right.
That's a
Easter
fun
egg,
game.
Easter egg. We do like a poll after the show. We have a poll that's like, what 2 songs did Daryl sing? Leave your Instagram, you'll get $5.
Yes, you'll get featured on the podcast.
Anyways, so it's really just like telling the story. Roxy Hart, she, knocks out her not boyfriend, I guess.
Yeah.
She's married.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's cheating.
She has an affair.
She has an affair, and she cuts him out. What's his name? Fred Casely.
Yes.
And then, she's on trial, yada, yada. She gets set free. She meets Al Capone. And he's like, she tries to join his brothel. And he's like, no. You're not going to be a hooker because you're going to be a big, big star. And that's when Razzle Dazzle happens. And then all of a sudden, Matilda Carson, Velma are talking to it. It makes more sense in the show.
Yeah.
Just come
You
to the
just
show.
see it. You just have to come
You
see it.
have to come see it.
But anyways, it's a really fun show. Just like encapsulating everything that was happening in like what the 30s, the 20s, 40s.
Yeah.
I don't really know. But and it's so fun to get to dress up in this little like period piece outfit. I mean, today for the first time we did our like a full run through like in all of our costumes, and when I tell you I put on my no costume and I was a new person. Mary Beth Baldwin.
Of course.
Exact.
Of
And
course.
Daisy Bloom.
And Daisy Bloom. We
We're
had Mary
born.
Beth Baldwin and Daisy Bloom in the building. And I didn't let go of the transatlantic accent. It was in there and it was stuck. And then all of a sudden I put on my black bob. Hello. And I love lipsticks.
More than I
It literally transforms you. And that's why I feel like
Right.
I feel like we were talking about earlier, like having all of this freedom to like play and like be like do whatever we want. It's like it's so amazing. And it is
Absolutely.
so fun. This show is so much fun. And I've said this multiple times how I think it's so funny that like there is a lot of death in Chicago, but it's like Al Capone being like, oh, you didn't pay me, so I'm going to shoot you.
Right.
Or I'm going to rip off your arm. Or I'm going to cut off your finger.
Or rip up your eye.
That's me. It's
okay,
really.
can I
Give me 2 eyes of blue.
Yes. Okay.
Well, in that dance, it's so funny because I'm like the showgirl in it, and we're all just like praising him, and we're all just like fanning him while he's cutting off someone's arm, and we're like, oh, Al Capone.
Of course. Of course.
It's the irony.
That is historically accurate, isn't it? Didn't people like love Al? Like they were like low-key terrified of him, but they were also like, oh my god, like this like businessman, like he's low-key natty. You know what I mean? Like
Pause.
so, no, you know what? Leave that in there. Okay? I will not be silenced.
So
Anyways, I was thinking earlier, it's really interesting to think about the dichotomy of Romeo and Juliet in terms of our roles in them, because I feel like there is more structure in Romeo and Juliet for us to be able to dig into who our characters are, but Chicago feels like extremely loose, where we can do like, obviously there's choreography, there's more like structure and a bunch of different things for the dance that like make more sense when you come and see the show. It's very, very dance heavy, which they both are obviously, but like I feel like Chicago is more like, it's more uniform, it's more structured, but that in itself almost gives more of a reason for you to find a character so that it can influence everything that you do in there. Whereas like you have very strict choreography that you have to follow in Romeo and Juliet, and then all of the acting you get to do is kind of where you get to let your personality and your attributes shine as who you are as your person, which I think is really interesting. It's nice to have both ends of the spectrum so that we can feel what it would be like in multiple different cases. You know what I mean? It's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are our shows. We are very, very excited about them. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet is a lot of fun.
We should put in like pictures that we took like from today, like because I was taking picture after picture.
No,
in my
you guys
costume,
were
like, from the progression of like now I have on just my wig, and now I have on this dress, and then now I have on a different wig but just the wig, and then now I have on the wig with the costume.
No, I love that.
No, I had
Any
a full
pictures?
like identity crisis throughout this whole show, or because I play a guy like most of the time, which is so fun because I get to live out like my Newsies dream. I said this before, and it's so funny. But it's just so fun to become a completely different character of what you think you would be.
Yeah.
And so I just love how Odyssey in general does that for you. And like, yes, you can go to musical theater and play an actual character, or you can just do dance and do just be strictly choreography and everything like that. But Odyssey really combines both worlds, and it's so much fun.
Dance theater.
Dance.
It's in the name.
I feel like Odyssey is such a unique job. Like I feel like once you leave, you're never gonna do anything like this ever
truly.
again, because it is like genuinely dance, but like we're telling these like Chicago's a musical, Romeo and Juliet's a play, you know, like, but we're taking these like actual shows and telling these stories just through dance. Like, yeah, we speak in them, but that is not the main form of getting the story across at all.
No. It's the emotion that we have to portray through our body,
right?
And it's like so interesting that, again, like in plays and musicals, they act and they sing and everything, but we don't get that ability to do that on stage, I guess. And so we have to do it through our emotions and faces and just like yelling nonsense to get the point across that we're upset.
I love you so much.
Yeah. I love you. You know. So it's so interesting to me of how like we get to become actors
Yes.
through dance.
So
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely.
Love dance.
It's really
Dance.
it's love dance. It's really, really cool the way that this company like not only combines it, but still challenges you in a way that is always going to push you out of your comfort zone of something that you've never done before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, we've all kind of had some experience in acting. Yes, we've all been dancing our entire lives. You know what I mean? But they're going to then take it to a level that requires you to put all of you into it, which I think doing something not as full out, shall I say, is something that can happen a lot when you're doing a show. It's really easy for you to kind of just like step back and take the low road rather than the high one. But one of the demands that these shows definitely has for us is the ability to fully immerse yourself into the show that you're doing. And I think that that is really important for anyone, no matter like what path of life you're on, where you're at in your career or anything like that, because it almost allows you as the person to have an escape from like your everyday life and like fully be able to give yourself to your craft in that way. And I think that it's been really healing for me, I would say. Like it's so easy to get caught in the concert dance life where like you're nothing but a pawn for the choreographer to move around and like get their vision across and everything like that. Whereas this is so much more individualized in a way that feels so cathartic. There are so many different ways that you can make something for yourself that having those possibilities just it makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so good, you know? The shows are great.
Also, like, going back to the, like, not necessarily like, the no small parts things, but this also, like, these two shows, like, really make you see how much impact you have by just being on stage. Like, even if you're doing absolutely nothing, what you think is absolutely nothing, you are making like a whole world. You're like literally setting the scene. Like Mercutio's maybe like doing his like death solo and we are on the side. If we were just to stand there like that takes everything out of it. Like you have to be on and reacting. Or like even when we're like in the speakeasy in Chicago, there are like the tap girls doing the dance, the people on the side, like you're setting the scene. If there weren't people there, it would just be like, okay, there's these girls and they're tapping.
Right.
So what now?
Right.
It would just be another like dance
With with like the people on the side, it's like, oh, I'm in a speakeasy and they're dancing. yes, like it,
and
like
they have drinks.
yes. Even if you're not dancing, like you truly have such a big and important role in every single moment of the show, and I think that's really amazing.
It's really important. Veronica talks a lot about how she specifically, but a lot of the time this will happen in audience members, they'll like pick someone out that may not be like who's supposed to be featured or highlighted at that moment. She says that you should always think about there being a camera on you. Like someone is always able to find you in like a giant group. One of the very first instances is Panda. That we start learning this when we do Thriller. I know Panda is so near and dear to all of our hearts. Like it truly is such a wonderful, wonderful piece of work. But it's what's really important. It's I mean it's a piece of work. Right. But what's really important about those pieces in particular is, again, it ties back to the no small parts thing. It shows you that someone can always find you, which I think is also really affirming as a dancer, because there's always the stigma of like, oh, I was put in the back and no one's ever going to see me. No, girl, there's a balcony.
I was balcony. They see you.
Will be seen. When you're performing at TuaCon and there's 2,000 seats and you're all the way up in row AAA, like they're gonna find you. You know?
That's why I think my favorite part of both of these shows, out of both of them, is the like club scene in Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my god!
Because I get to because Mercutio's doing his solo, or like things are happening, and like I am so unimportant in this moment. Nothing that I do it matters literally at all to the story. But I'm in the club, like, and I like just took the liberties of like being the white girl that got overserved, and so I'm in the back like stumbling around like. Yeah. Like you can ask anyone that's around me in that scene. I passed out the other day. We ran it and I fully was like, okay, now it is Christina's time to literally pass out.
I was right there in my heels and all. I was right there next to her.
That is my favorite, because I just get to do whatever I want and I get to be so stupid, and I know that there might be one person in the audience looking at me maybe for 2 seconds, and I hope that I make an impact.
Right. Right.
It's just so fun to just run around and do just the stupidest thing I could possibly think of. Those are my favorite moments. That's why I love Panda so much. Because this year I got to just like rip Miss Allie's wig off and be like, I'm a dragon. Like, it's so fun. It is so fun to do. That's my favorite type of stuff. That I feel like that might say something about me as a dancer.
Well, you're a person who likes to be free form.
I do.
You like it free for all.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
truly.
Give me a blueprint and I'll run.
True. And that is very, very good. You know, because sometimes you won't get a whole lot of direction. Those like, all right, go up there, be hot.
Yeah, they're like,
and some people don't know how to do it, but if you know how to like put it into like become that character again, you know how to portray that. It's like, okay, you booked it.
Absolutely.
Even if you're not that person in real life,
right?
You have to go in. You have to become something you're not.
Well, anyways, to wrap up this segment in particular, we're going to go to Europe soon, which is really, really, really exciting.
And don't you worry, you're coming with us.
I'm so guys, we have some wonderful stuff planned.
We do.
You. I'm so excited about the stuff we're gonna do in Germany.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so fun. Obviously, on top of performing and doing all of those wonderful things that our wonderful director is granting us the ability to do. It's so amazing that he has these connections, that we're like working with this company and that he has just the ability to do all of this. It's not something that you get to come by very often. It definitely, like, before I had known anything about Odyssey, I was like, this is the most enticing part, a European tour. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so cool and famous. And it's like so much more than that now. Obviously, like, I've really connected with Odyssey as a company, but still having that aspect of something to look forward to, or an experience that you don't always get to have, is like, it's so awesome to put it into perspective when you're thinking about the grand scheme of everything that we do. It's like, this doesn't amount to everything that we do, but at the same time, it's a huge part of why we do what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I've never been to Germany.
Me either.
I've never been out of the country.
Thank you, Carson.
So that's exciting. So it's really fun that my first experience is going to be like getting paid to go dance in a different country. Like, that's so cool, you know?
Oh, literally.
It's really exciting.
I've only ever been to, Greece is Europe?
I'm not the person to ask about geography.
You're the person to ask about Greece, though.
Yes.
He's saying yes. So.
Okay, good.
What do you say, Sage?
Oh, hello. But I'm really excited. We're going to be there for 13 days, like almost 2 weeks.
What's she doing?
She's like, she's trying to climb up here. Hey, girl.
We're going to be there for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah. Which is really exciting. It's going to be so much fun. The last time that I was out of the country was when I was in Greece, like 2 years ago, I think 2 summers ago in 2024. And I was out of the country for like about 2.5, almost 3 weeks. And it's definitely a challenge. But it's, I know. Well, if we can talk about this for a second, it's the three of us, Athena and I in particular, for sure. It's really hard for us to travel because our routines are so important to who we are as people. So that is definitely going to be a challenge. I mean, we've been talking a lot about packing.
Yeah. And Daryl has been trying to like recruit people from the company to like forfeit their checked bag so that we can put the costumes in it. So it's like cheaper travel and everything. And like he kept coming up to me and being like, Athena, your clothes are so tiny. Like you can't just fit everything in a carry-on. And I was like, Daryl, a carry-on is my morning and night routine. Like what? Like I literally, I don't know what to tell you.
No, truly.
So I'm scared. I overpack for a sleepover.
Right.
And like, so what if I like pee my pants and then I poo my pants and then I poo my pants again? I need 5 pairs of underwear. Like for a one singular night.
It's true. It's true. Yes.
Because you never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen.
You never know.
It's true.
Hey, you don't know that.
It's true. You never know.
You never know.
I was
Better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry.
The other day I was talking to Nat about this though, and I've decided that I'm going to try and cut my routine in half and only bring half of it with me to Europe.
Yeah.
I know. It's going to be a really big... I need to, like, sit and, like, decipher. I need to sift through, and I need to organize, and I need to, like, literally make my potion. Like, that's what needs to happen. What is das Number? Because we're going to be in Germany. Guys, I've been studying German. I've been studying German. Yes, I've been doing it. I'm at 15-day streak on Duolingo clock.
Okay.
I've been keeping track.
That's really good.
Right? I do it every night before I go to bed. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna learn a little bit. And I could order a coffee right now. For surezies.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not gonna demonstrate right now, but
Das
I will
ist
say,
gut.
coffee is Kaffee.
Wunderbar.
No way, really?
Yes. You bring the inches. No one wants a waist over 9 inches.
Okay, we're off topic.
We're off topic. We're so off topic.
We are so far gone.
I told you this episode is going to be the entire thing off. Maybe
why
that's
we
supposed to
have
be called Odyssey Unscripted Off Topic.
Off topic.
That's good.
Off topic.
All right. Well, our final segment that we have for today, we posted a little Q&A box on our Instagram story. And, we thought it would be a little fun just to kind of see who would respond. And full transparency, not a lot of people did. But that's okay because I knew that we were going to gab a lot and we would only have a certain amount of time to do these questions. So it kind of works, So Natalie and Athena both have their questions on there, and we're just going to go through and we're going to see what happens.
Okay, so the first one that I have, I think, is a really good one. And this person wants us to talk about our audition experience and any tips that you might have for the people that want to audition. Like, probably for Odyssey.
Right.
Like, I feel like that applies to, like, auditions just in general.
Yeah. Well, I will say, though, my Odyssey audition...
Very
It's very different from anyone that I've ever attended. It was definitely, well, if you'll allow me to go first, I will say the Odyssey audition in particular, they are very transparent from the beginning. Like, we just want to see who you are, like at your deepest core. We are going to have you do these styles. We're going to go pretty fast. And then we're going to say, all right, see you later. We'll be in touch. That's pretty much like, a lot of the time in auditions you hear about like cattle calls, hundreds of people, cuts after each dance you do, like, so it's very interesting the way that they go about it. Daryl literally, so anecdote time. When I went to my audition, it was in New York, and we haven't been to New York in a while, I'm pretty sure, right? I auditioned in New York because I'm not from over here. I'm from over there. And when I went there, they had just gotten off of a red-eye flight. Like, they literally came from the airport to Open Jar Studios in New York City to have this audition. So they were all, like, loopy. Veronica, I knew that we were going to be, like, so bestie from the beginning because she already was just, like, she was so personable and she was so wonderful and she was so herself. Shall I say, which is very important, especially when you're in an audition experience. Like, that kind of energy is really nice. Daryl was the first to teach, actually. He taught ballet, which was really, but we did ballet, jazz, tap, contemporary and ballroom. Was that it? And we did like a little acro portion. Hip hop. Yes, there was also hip hop. But overall, something that really helped me when I was doing this audition was just they had reminded us that this is just a class, you know? Like, if you get something from this opportunity that is fantastic, and you should absolutely do with what that is the way that you intend to do so. But if you don't get anything from it, think about it as like a little intensive you got to take, you know? Like, I was there for a good like 4 or 5 hours, and in the span of that, I did so many different styles, and I got to take a bunch of different pieces of information from so many different people. It was a really great experience, and I think that kind of mindset really took a lot of the pressure off, and I was able to just be there, be in the space, dance, and be as authentic as I could, which I think is the best advice that I would have to offer anyone, because they want to see, they as in casting directors or Odyssey in particular or whatever, they want to see who you are and what you have to offer to the space, because a lot of the time atmosphere and cohesion is what's really important in a dance company specifically. So that's a little bit of advice I have, and my anecdote of a story. My audition was so fun, actually. Like, I had a blast. I had so much fun.
That's good.
So yeah, what about you guys?
I mean, we were at the same audition here in Utah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just like, because I am also not from here. I am from over there as well. But over there and further down.
Right.
But I just so happened, the convention that I was working with at the time, we just so happened to be in Utah when the Odyssey audition was happening. So it was like fate, you know? So I was, so I went on Saturday to the audition, and this was not my first professional audition ever. It was my second, but the first one I did was in New York with my brother, and it was like very much cattle call. Like, it was just like, because it was like for non-union people. So it was like, whatever. But I wasn't as nervous because I was with my brother, and he had done all these before. So like, he ran me through it, and like I knew what to expect, you know? But when I went to my Odyssey audition, I was sitting, and my amazing mother flew up from Florida to Utah just so she could drive me from the convention to the audition, because I was 19. Or no, I was 18. No, 19. I was 19 and I can't rent a car. So she literally flew up from Florida to Utah to drive me to this audition. And the whole time I'm so nervous that I can't eat anything. And then we get to Copa, and I'm sitting in the car, like, to the working myself to the point of tears. I literally was like, Mom, I was like, I can't go in there. Like, I'm so scared, because I had no idea what to expect, because they were like, we're going to do all these styles. The audition is from 12 to 6. It was going to be 6 hours of just straight dance. And I was like, are they making cuts, or am I going to be there the whole time? I have no idea what to do. I was so nervous. And I didn't know anybody, and these people don't know me. And so I walk in there, and I put my stuff down, and I'm like, okay, like, let me warm up. I have like 15 minutes until the audition. And I'm getting there, I'm warming up, and I'm looking at people. I remember you being there, and like, we can cut this, but I remember you talking about the fact that you were about to get married. I was like, okay, word. Like, I remember that. Anyways,
oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm in there, and I'm warming up and doing all my things, whatever. I'm hearing people's conversations, and I was like, should I try to talk to? No, because I am such an introvert. I am such an introvert. And I remember like every single person that I was in that audition with. I remember all of them that made the audition, but nobody on Odyssey now that I auditioned with remembers me, because I didn't talk to anybody, and I was just in the corner the whole time. But I was observing, and I remember Allie liking turtles. Like,
of course.
I was like, I remember I like FaceTimed with my best friend afterwards, and she was like, because she's just this way. She was like, were there any cute guys there? Like, were there anybody that you, and I was like, I don't know. I was so locked in on everything but the people around me. I was like, I like really wasn't paying attention. But then I remembered, like, no, I was. But anyways, I get in there, and like, I realized right once Veronica started speaking, I was like, oh, why was I nervous?
Right.
Like, she walked in the room, and she's like started playing some music. She was like, hey guys, how are we doing today? But it was so fun. Like, we get in there, and Daryl starts teaching the ballet combo, and like, Veronica's cracking jokes in the corner, and I was like, why was I nervous? And Carson, oh my God. Every time we're in ballet, I think about the ballet portion of the audition because Carson was in there and like he's very clearly a hip hopper. I was like, okay, I can't wait to see him do his thing. But you did this like grand tour jeté, and I swear you got like 20 feet off the floor, but you landed in a grand plie. And I remember watching you do that and then being like, how did he just recover from that? Like, because you were up and then you were down and then you immediately got back up again. And I was like, that was crazy.
Wow.
So I was observing a lot. And I think that helped ease my nerves because just like watching other people. But I think my piece of advice would be don't do what I did. Don't be nervous and work yourself into a panic because at the end of the day, it's not that serious.
Right.
Like, and everyone else in the room with you is going through the exact same thing as you. Like, if you can like take yourself out of the bigger picture, because it's so easy to like get wrapped up in how you feel in that very moment. And it's like, oh my God, I'm not ready for this, blah, 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 blah. Just like zoom out and be like, no, everyone else is here. And I can guarantee that there are probably 70% more of the people in this room are feeling the exact same way as me. So it was really nice to like have V just again being herself, you know, and then Jeffrey Boom, his energy through the roof. It was crazy. It was a really fun audition, and again, it was like an intensive. It was like. It was great. Anyways, Natalie.
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like you kind of said it all because, again, we were at the same audition. But, like, I went with my sister, and all I knew was her and Allie. And so I, like, stuck with them for a second. They introduced me to Boston.
Love. Shout out Boston.
And Lily. Yeah, yeah. And so, like, because Cassidy was on it, my sister was on it 2 years before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, it was just such a good environment. Like, I agree. Like, I went into it so nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, like, if I don't make this, there's nothing else. Because I feel like I tried everything else. Because I came from like college and I came from an MBA team, and I was like, okay, wait, this is like my last resort here right now. So I was like very nervous, but again, it was just like so fun.
Right.
It was like just so calming, and like seeing people that like, I'm from Utah, but I've never seen these like Utah dancers.
Right.
So it was really cool to see everyone's take on everything and like aspects.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And something that like I was told a really long time ago that has stuck with me a lot is the worst that will happen is you'll hear no. You know, like, and you hear no all the time.
Yeah.
Like when you really like strip it down to the basics of what language is, you'll hear no and you'll move on with your life. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you'll probably be a little upset about it, but at the same time, it's like there are so many opportunities in this world, let alone the dance world, that like you will find where you need to go.
Yes.
You know, that's at least my personal belief.
I also want to add, I forgot. I went to Pioneer for the Performing Arts my freshman year, and it was the Performing Arts school that Daryl Yeager put on, and it was really cool because that was my first time doing Thriller as like just a zombie, which was so cool, and hearing about Thriller like really really deep in it. And I like the year that they decided to take a year off, I was devastated. I went to the very last show in Tuacahn to watch Cassidy, and I was bawling because I was like, oh my gosh, I missed my chance. I wanted to do Odyssey since I was like a freshman in high school.
Right.
Because Pioneer like introduced me to it. And I was like so upset. And so going to that audition, I was like, if I don't make this, I'm not gonna do anything. Like I was so upset, you know? But like, yeah, it was just it was crazy that
but
it came
obviously
back,
it's not the end of the world.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Obviously not.
But it can be really easy to trick yourself into thinking it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have to have that tenacity, you know? You really just gotta stick to it. But okay.
Next question.
Another one?
This one says, if you could be another dancer on the company for a day, who would it be and why?
This is so exciting. This is so Athena and I like briefly talked about this the other day, and she did mention someone, and I agree, like fully I agree with you.
I'll go, okay.
Yes,
So
go ahead.
I said that I would love to be Naomi.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
Naomi,
Shout out Naomi.
She is an aura to me.
Yeah.
Like Naomi's not a person, she's a feeling. Okay? Like
Clock.
I think that's how she feels too. Like she's gorgeous. Like absolutely just drop dead stunning, and like she could literally quit dance and go be a model right now and be a millionaire because of
Absolutely.
it. Like so gorgeous and so talented, and like I said, she's a feeling. You get within 1 inch of Naomi and you immediately your day's better.
Absolutely.
And like I just want to see like how she lives life and what it would be like to be her, because also at the same time she does the most unhinged things on the planet sometimes, and she will say the most unhinged things and she'll like just like giggle or like smile after it. She'll be like, yeah, like
Yeah.
like she's let me tell you a story. So
Boy.
last Thriller season, Naomi got in trouble because we found out she was a Diddy stuffer. Now, we were talking about this today.
I forgot.
We were talking about this today. We share costumes for Thriller, and Allie and Naomi shared a mummy skirt, and Allie was a mummy that day and she couldn't find her mummy skirt. She looked literally everywhere, turned the Park City Theater like upside down looking for her mummy skirt, couldn't find it. It was in Naomi's laundry bag because we're not supposed to put the mummy skirts in the laundry bags, by the way. They're supposed to go in the baskets with the other costumes, but Naomi took it upon herself to just stuff it in her bag and then throw it. And then also my personal vendetta against Naomi happened in Tuacahn dress rehearsal this Thriller season. For reference, I'm 5 feet. I think Naomi's 5'7",
5'8",
5'8", somewhere around there. Keep that in mind.
It's very important.
We are doing dress rehearsal, and this particular run, I was the panda in the box for the Jason dance, and I was going from, I think it was Deo. Yeah, it was Deo into panda in the box, and it's a quick change. Okay, so I preset my stuff in the little quick change alcove at Tuacahn, and I go off from Deo, and I have everything except my black jazz shoes. Interesting. I literally set them on top of my panda costume. Okay, whatever. So I was a barefoot panda in the box that day. I go in the dressing room and I say, did somebody take my jazz shoes? They were in the alcove on stage left. And Naomi from the other, I can't see her. There's like costumes separating me and the side of the room Naomi's on. So I just hear her voice and she goes, oh yeah, it was me. Loud and proud. And I ripped myself through the costumes and I was like, Naomi, what do you mean it was you? And she was like, oh yeah, I wanted to wear jazz shoes for Thriller, so I saw them and I took them. I was like, and you didn't put them back? She was like, no, I was just gonna tell you. I was like, Naomi, I preset them for a reason. And she was like, I'm sorry. Going back to me being 5 foot and her being 5'7", the shoes are 2 sizes too small for her. And we were talking about this today, and she was like, "Yeah, I remember dancing in them and being like, ooh, these are tight."
Ooh, these fit.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
She just is like. She's her own being.
Yes.
She is her own.
She's truly an enigma.
I want to live in Naomi world. Like, she's amazing. And also, like, she's like, what is she in school for? It's like something kind of crazy.
Radiology. Radiologist tech.
I'm like, okay, and she's smart.
She is.
And she can play the guitar.
Oh my God, I'll never forget that Moore's Rob. I will never. That's the other thing. Like, when I say that she's an enigma, it's like, she will just be like, oh no, yeah, I've been playing the guitar for 8 years. And you're like, you have a guitar concert this weekend? She's like, yeah, you should come. Like, I'm singing in church with my mom tomorrow. You should totally come. Like, it's just stuff like that. Like, you have no idea, but it's like, of course. No, of course.
Yeah.
No, of course.
No, of course.
Like, Naomi could tell me that she was like certified to like skydive by herself, and I would believe it. I'd be like, yeah,
absolutely.
No, that makes sense.
Absolutely. I love that this has just turned into like an I Love Naomi podcast. Like, we've been talking about her. No, like, truly. No, literally.
Who's next?
I'm trying to think of someone.
I know. I'm not really. I feel like if I were to choose someone that I would want to be like in their shoes for one day, there are so many people on the company that I'm just like so fascinated by them because of the lives that they lead. Like I feel like we as a company are so diverse in that aspect where there are so many different people and from like different walks of life that do so many different things all day long and whatever. But I think someone who like it's kind of similar to the way that you feel about Naomi, I feel about this person. I would say Ramses.
Oh my
because he truly is like he's the same way as Naomi. Like he's just a being. Like he is such a ball of energy and light that him being a part of this company has like taken the atmosphere from here to here,
Right,
like
yeah.
in terms of positivity. Like it is just he is such a warm and kind-hearted soul. On top of the fact that he is unapologetically himself, he's incredibly authentic, and he is very, very serious about what he does, which I think is all of the qualities that you would want to look for, like in a dancer like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like he is just, and then on top of that, he has such a fun life. I feel like he is such a wonderful partner who we have met multiple times. We love and adore Veronica. She's wonderful.
Different Veronica.
Different Veronica. But I just feel like he is the kind of person that like I see and I'm like, you are just so inspiring. Like I want to take so many different things from who you are and integrate them into my life because it will just like absolutely make my experience as a person like so much better. Like it makes me so happy to be in a room with him.
And
I
he
think,
is
you
like,
know.
he is so confident in his being. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. He put on his like little muscle man suit for Razzle Dazzle in Chicago and was like staring at himself in the mirror for 15 minutes, just going like this.
Oh, like flexing
Like,
and
he's gorgeous,
pumping,
though.
and
No, like,
absolutely.
it was not for anyone else in the room. It was for him. He was not putting on a show. He
No?
was like just feeling himself. And it was one of the funniest but like best things I've ever
Absolutely.
experienced.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he knew that the eyes were on him.
But
he did not
again,
care.
unapologetically himself. Absolutely as he should be.
Like the vibe is just not there if Ramses
Right.
isn't in the
Right.
like because he's I don't know anyways, but like if he's not at rehearsal one day, like vibes are off.
You know.
You're like, wait,
Yeah.
where what
Who's gonna improv during
who's
stretching?
gonna
and
entertain me?
like
like I'm having a bad day, where's Ramses to make it better?
Right.
Like
Uh-huh.
I love him so much,
mhm.
so dearly.
Mm-hmm. What?
okay, who would you?
Yeah, who'd you pick?
Okay, do you want to know my first thought?
Of course.
And I think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Carson.
Yes.
Yes.
I would love to be Carson for a day.
I want to be Carson for a day, especially with all his like mega roles in the
Right.
shows. Like it's just like
Star.
want
Let's talk about it.
to be a star too.
Clark.
I'm a star.
I'm a star. He is a star. Carson is absolutely a star. I'm gonna be a star. Exactly.
Like
Please, please, please. For our
See
audio
Romeo and
listeners,
Juliet for you to get
Athena's
that.
got up and did a little dance move that's in one of our dances, Osiah, that's in Romeo and Juliet, and you just gotta come see it.
Stupid. Like
No,
like,
you
I
just
promise I
gotta
don't
come
do
see
that
it.
for
I
real
promise
on
it's really
stage.
good.
But like
but yeah. I think just the main reason why I want to be Carson for a day is just to have his swagger and have his ability to
Even though he's a
like
captain.
hip hop. I love hip hop, but I wish I was just like better at it.
right.
I don't know. And
Mhm.
he's got that. And I'm just like, okay, I
Mhm.
want that style. And so
Yeah.
I love sponging off of people. So Carson, just so you know, that's what I grasp from you.
All
and I want
right.
it. So that's awesome.
And like
so
Cool.
Lily's your girlfriend, so like
yeah, so I
mean, come on.
bonus. Like there
the
you
biggest bonus
go.
of all time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. Uh-huh. And I also
like,
think, like,
yeah.
it was similar to Ramses, what I was talking about. Like, Carson is also very unapologetically himself.
Right.
Like, there is always a moment where I will hear Carson just, like, speak the first thing that comes to his mind. And I'm like, you know what? You're right, Carson.
yes.
You know what? Yeah.
You are so right. Especially, like, ballet class is always killer. Like, it always really, especially...
The other day, no, Carson, it was just you. Like the other day, our ballet teacher, she just said that like if you put your arms above your head, it would warm them up. And I'm on the opposite side of the room from Carson, and I just look over. Or no, Peter looks at me. He goes, "What's Carson doing?" And I was like, I don't know, but I joined him because I was like, Carson's doing it, so let me see what this is about.
Like whatever.
Stood there for like literally 5 minutes while she was talking, just like this, and he was like trying to learn the combo.
Yes, he was warming up.
It was hilarious.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's what I'm saying. Like he's so unapologetically himself, and he's always gonna say what's on his mind. He's always going to bring his energy to the space in a way that is necessary.
And I want to say one more thing about Carson, because like just said, okay, this is last year, and I guess a more personal thing that we had encountered of like. He was one of the first people I actually kind of really talked to in a sense I didn't like buddy like I was with like you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt like I always could go up to Carson and just like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what's up? And he would just make me laugh. And I'm like, okay.
Which is very important.
Yeah.
It's just like so awesome how like he's just so personal all the time. And I
Right.
love it. And like
Great
if I want to laugh, I'm like, Carson, hey, say something.
Yeah.
Right. No, literally. Just say something.
It's so good. It's so good. And so
No, his
Yeah.
best ones are like the ones that he cracked because it just comes out.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
thank you for saying that, Carson.
Yes,
We need to
truly.
hear it.
But I mean, also, all of this is to say that like our company is absolutely a family.
Right.
Like
Yes.
we could sit here and talk about all of the members of our company
Yeah.
like this like all day long. You know what I mean? Like those are just the people in particular that like I would just love to be Naomi for a day. I would love to be Ramses. I would love to be Carson. Like they're just in my mind, they're enigmas. They're
true,
just like
it's
they're
true.
figments of my imagination that I'm like, you are just so beautiful and whimsical in everything that you are, and you're everything.
Special people.
No, truly. Okay, I think we have time for one more question, if it's a bit brief.
Yeah. I'm
Mhm.
with it. Okay. Who on the company would you not let your kid date and why?
That's tea. That's tea.
I have a whole list.
Oh,
Just kidding.
Natalie.
Oh, okay. Let me think of it.
My first thought here is we're going to circle back and I'm going to say Naomi once more. Because because listen, like one thing about Naomi is she knows that she's it.
Right.
She knows that she's that girl.
'Cause how could you not?
And she will never stoop down to another man's level if she does not feel inclined to do so. I have heard countless stories of her being like, yeah, I just like didn't like him anymore, so I'm just gonna stop talking to him now. And I'm like, you know what? Good for you, girl. But as a parent to a child that would maybe be in, trying to connect with Naomi, shall I say, I would be scared. I would
Yeah.
be scared because it's like she knows that she doesn't need anyone to please herself. Like she's got it.
I will never forget when we were in Park City and it was just me and her in our hotel room and we were like going through her Hinge and she was just like trolling the guys on there. Like she was like at one point the two of us literally sang the Black Witches song into the microphone for like an entire minute. And this random man on Hinge just received us going, oh. And she was like, yeah, I don't care.
No, literally. And that's why I'm like, I mean, I would be honored if one of my children were to try and get
Right.
with Naomi in some capacity. But at the same time, like, I would be petrified
Right.
for the way that it would go.
Right.
Because I know that she's a baddie and she knows it too, But obviously, this is coming from a place of love. We love you, Naomi.
Oh,
Thank you for letting me say
absolutely.
this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anyone else? You kind of said that you like agree with Naomi.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Nene.
Oh, Naomi.
I was kind of thinking Ashley
Oh, boy.
because Ashley is like love her. That's my girl. Like, that is my girl. If you need the truth, you go to Ashley.
It's true.
She will not. One thing she won't do is tell a lie. Like so brutally honest, but like in the best way.
It's necessary.
But I think like she has such a strong head on her shoulders, and so she knows exactly what she wants. And like maybe you're like in this relationship with her right now, but like give it a week, and she'll be like, actually, I don't care anymore.
No, literally.
Oh yeah.
And like as she
Like, and I see that. So I'd be like, hey, like, maybe not that one. Maybe not that one. Like, she's great and she's beautiful, and you're like lucky that she's graced you with her presence.
Truly.
Like, maybe take a step back.
Yeah.
It's the same like vein as Naomi, where it's like they know that they don't have to worry about anyone else but themselves, which is like absolutely how you
They don't
should
have
be.
time to entertain others.
Right, to get like messed with or to have like an inconvenience. Like they're here to do what they need to do, and if you're in their way, watch out.
Or can I offer up another one?
Of course.
Mose, but not for the reason you think. I would be scared that my child was gonna ruin him.
Mosey.
Like, he is just such a like pure-hearted human being, and he's like the little brother of the company. Like you just you have to love Mose. There's
adore
no other option. He is just so amazing. And so if my kid was like, if I met him and my kid was dating him, I'd be like, you need to let him go.
You need to get
Like,
your act
no,
together, or
no,
you need to move
you
on.
need to, you need to get it together, whip yourself into shape, or like leave him alone. Like I will adopt him and disown you.
Fair.
Exactly.
So fair. So fair. I love that boy. I love that boy.
Okay.
Well,
Do you have one?
I was gonna say Lily.
Oh, drama in this too.
She's too. Again, she falls in the same aspect with Ashley and Naomi. She's just too good. She
God.
if my child came up to me and said, "Okay, here's my girlfriend," I'll be like,
How'd you get that?
How'd you do that? How'd
You're
you do
lucky,
that?
buddy.
You're lucky.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Absolutely.
be careful, I guess. Like, oh my gosh. Like, you're not going to be okay after that. She's going to be fine.
Right.
She's going to be
fine. No, yeah. Again,
you.
just another moment for us to all appreciate the love and support that we have for each other on the company.
right.
We're a family, you know? And I feel like that's why we're allowed to sit here and kind of talk like this, because it's like, I feel like, if you'll allow me to just get deep for a second before we wrap things up, I feel like Odyssey is just one of those dance companies where it's like the priority is always, I always say, a dance rooted in friendship. Like that's always the foundation of a lot of what we do and like why we do what we do. And I feel like it's so important to find that atmosphere in your people. Like I know that like all of the people in this room especially, but then like everyone outside of here and in the company in general, like are people I'm gonna like cherish my connection with for like years and years and years and years down the line. You know what I mean? And that's something that's so important when you're in a space like this, especially in a field like what we do. It's so easy to isolate yourself and feel like you're being alienated from the world because of whatever, but finding your community is so important. And I feel like that's kind of what we've got going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always come back to Odyssey when I'm like having a rough day. I'm like, well, at least I got Odyssey in the morning.
Right.
And I get to see my friends and hang out with them and play.
Dance around and pretend to be Monty Crew and Caputan and
Yeah.
little flapper girls with tap shoes on. You know?
I remember like when I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, it's Friday, like end of the week, like Athena, you can do it. And then I remembered it's Ireland's birthday, and I was like, we're gonna get treats.
Yeah.
Veronica's gonna bring us treats because it's Ireland's birthday.
Yes,
Like there is something to look forward to.
Ireland, do you want to make an
did not eat the
appearance?
treats, but
Come
Do
here.
you want to make an appearance? Come on! Yeah!
Yay!
Ireland!
This is Ireland.
This is
It's her
Ireland.
birthday today. She's 20.
I'm Ireland.
She's You're the youngest member on our company now.
She is young.
It's true. She's our little baby.
Yeah.
She's our little baby.
Yeah, I'm officially.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and designated demonstrator in Daryl's ballet class. There has
It's
not,
true.
There has
It's
not been
true.
a single ballet class where Daryl doesn't make her demonstrate like double turn into an attitude hold.
Yes.
though.
No, but you're always on that leg. You're literally always on the
Literally
leg.
always. I
Yeah.
call her my daughter for a reason.
Yeah, me and Ian have adopted
Mhm,
Ireland.
essentially, yes.
I guess I don't matter.
Well,
Sorry. Well,
I'm the aunt.
you're the
Yeah,
you're the
yeah.
aunt.
And it's like, hey.
So nice to see you again, high school.
how's school gone?
Last time I saw you, you were in diapers.
Stop. All right, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed us just kind of yapping. There wasn't a whole lot of structure, but I think this is very good for us, I think.
Yeah.
It was nice to kind of just let it all out. I feel like these recaps are something that's nice for us to do every once in a while because it's so easy for us to kind of get caught in the grind set, if you know what I mean. That having like this as an avenue for us to just let all of our feelings out, and it's very cathartic. It's really nice to be able to sit with my girls and hang out for a little bit, and so I hope you felt like you were part of the Kiki, and I hope that you enjoyed watching today.
We're listening.
Yes, or listening, or both. Because my mom does that. Shout out, mom. I gotta give her a shout out.
Shout out, Mom.
Shout out, mom. Anyways, with that, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at some point very soon.
Love ya.
Bye bye.